Now, there have been global campaign for the protection of women and children in war situation. And in Nigeria, we've been having a lot of conflict situations. So what is your ministry doing to protect women and children in war situation?
You see, there's the UN Security Council Resolution 1325, which deals with women, peace, and security. And under that, Nigeria has developed the first action plan, which at the time we did, there was no Boko Haram, there was no insurgency anywhere in Nigeria. So it was during the implementation of that first action plan that Boko Haram and the insurgency now came. So we now revised it. In the new action plan, the second one now, we have ways of tackling all these issues. And then, of course, you know, when a resolution of the United Nations or whatever comes, if Nigeria signs to it, then we now try to domesticate it by making a law of it. So we are working on that. The technical committee is working on that to make provision, all the provisions, how to tackle all issues of women and girls in war times, insurgency period, and all this, period of violence and so on. And then we have the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, also that one. But you know, that cannot work during war because there are two different situations. Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act protects women a lot, but that is against the normal violence that women go through, rape and so on and so forth.
Now, it's also important we look at the plight of the internally displaced. As a result of several conflicts in the country, they've risen from 1.2 million IDPs to approximately 2 million IDPs. So what are you doing to ensure that they get the best of welfare in line with global practice?
The government is working with leading in that area, working with development partners, people that are willing to help, because the situation is not one that government alone can handle. Private individuals, development partners, the government leading is taking care of that situation. Many of the IDPs now are being taken back home, rehabilitation, and then they are taken back home, new, in collaboration, of course, with the states where the IDPs are, like Borno State. The governor is doing his bit. The federal government is supporting. Development partners are supporting to resettle these IDPs.
Now, we understand that sometimes the issue of getting relief materials to the IDPs has been used as conduits. So what is your ministry doing to ensure that the food items, the relief materials get to these IDPs?
You see, different strategies are taken. But government has taken this very seriously. And now we have escorts as part of one of the ways to check, that kind of issue, diversion or whatever. So we send escorts and then physical verification. When the truck or whatever leaves, we send people from wherever the things are being taken, people ahead to go and wait to verify.
Nigeria is still lagging behind in terms of the girl-child education. So what are you doing to ensure a mass induction of the Nigerian girls into at least having the benefit of basic education?
You see, one of the social investment programs, the homegrown school feeding, is also helping a lot in the enrollment of girl child in school. Because, you know, in the villages where you have boys and girls as children, the boys are sent to school, especially from poor families, and then the girls are kept back to go and hawk goods or to go and sell anything to make money, to bring home, to put food on the table for the boys that were sent to school. But with the homegrown school feeding, we have got statistics that enrollment of girl children in schools now is getting higher and higher. And of course, advocacy. We do advocacy from this ministry and from state ministries on the importance of girl education, the importance of not marrying off your children early and taking them to school, with advocacy, a lot of advocacy and incentives, because there are incentives. The federal government has incentives whereby if you send your girl children to school, there is an incentive that is given to the family. And then even the girls, like payment of school fees and things like that, all these incentives are in place and encourage parents to send their children to school.
You may also join in this conversation by sending us your comments on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Coming up on Question Time, setting the record straight on the plight of the Nigerian woman.